Welcome to the third ever podcast called Something with Afternoon, starring the two main actors, the two main podcasters. Going on to my left, hailing from Tawau Sabah, to be more
Okay.
precise, IPG. Over there, I forgot the whole name, but we'll continue. He was a friend of mine in UITM Dengkil and hopefully will end up in the same university after this. Can I mention your marks?
Marks. Do you know my marks?
They're very much
Nah.
excellent. I think I know, I get the gist of it. Okay. The very
Mm-hmm.
excellent Nezwan Helmi is with us today.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Is it considered afternoon?
And yeah, afternoon. It is afternoon. And I also want to say thank you very much for inviting me, Haziq, to
Yes,
the third
sir.
episode of Something with Afternoon. And oh, do you already introduce about yourself?
Oh, please do the honors, please.
Okay, all right. So today I will talking with Haziq Muhammad Shahal about three things. First is about small businesses. Second is about our favorite local artists. And the third one is about our favorite drama. So, Haziq,
Yes, sir.
uh, my my introduction for small businesses.
Yes.
What do you think about the definition of small businesses?
For me, I think small businesses is not something like in terms of the entrepreneur point of view. A small business is not very much their main source of income. What I mean by that is that they have their first one, their normal jobs, working as usual, but in order to sustain their living, in order for them to have some more money to spend, whether on themselves or their family members or on their interests, they need to come up with another form of revenue, right?
Yeah,
So, because I've seen in so many people, like for us, for example, you've seen so many business advertisement from our friends
yeah,
from UITM
mhm,
Dengkil, right?
mhm,
Why? Because
yeah,
they want more sources of income, despite them not having a normal job, for example. This is just
mm,
a way for them to expand their knowledge in their business. This is the
yeah,
first step, maybe into them being a full-time businessman or having normal jobs. But I think the foundation of it, no pun intended, is for them to is a way for them to have more money in their savings so that they can have
yeah.
a more fun time, not a fun time, more relaxing time, knowing that they have money in their possession. Much more.
Yeah, correct. I think I want to add one more the benefits when our friends
Yes.
started or joined small businesses. Uh, I think the benefit is other than the getting the profits, they also get the experience.
Yes.
Like when we do small businesses, but in these days,
Mm.
we always do that in social media. We
Mm.
not do that in the outer world. So
Yes.
it is a kind new of business experience.
Mm.
You know, like in the future, like e-commerce will be like a normal thing for us. So I think it is a good exposure for
Mm.
the youngsters to do small businesses starting from now
Mm.
and using internet as their main platform
Mm.
to convey. their promotions and offers to other people.
Yeah, especially right now with the pandemic of COVID-19 going on. This is very
Yeah.
much the perfect timing, right? Because no
Mm,
one is going out anymore, not
mm.
much anyway, and then people are more stuck to their phones, searching for
Mhm.
stuff to buy
I, I, I
or
really think
things like
that
that.
the year 2020 is just the symbolic year of when we like the phase when we jump from the old age to
Mm,
the new age. Like we
yeah.
go, we really go to the
Mm.
technological era. Uh,
How
Maybe
much do you
because of
think?
COVID-19.
How much do you attribute the COVID-19 into? Maybe yes, it is like a very much a pandemic, very bad thing going on. But in terms of economically, it has some advantages, especially for the online businesses. How much do you
Yeah.
think the pandemic attributed to the success of e-commerce going on far
Mm.
ahead in future? How much?
I think if I can talk in two different parts. First, the beginning part of the pandemic. Usually,
Yes.
in the beginning part of the pandemic, the economic will usually experience an upset
Mm,
where like everyone will become panic, everyone will become in a distressed situation, so
mm,
they will not usually engage in business.
mm,
So they will just they will just uh, what I can say, just uh, to stay away for a short time from
mm,
doing business, from doing transaction, from doing sell and buy with other
mm,
business. But in in the mid of the pandemic, when people started to feeling enjoy at their
mm.
home, at
They
their
started to
house,
become
so
idle,
when they
right?
started to scroll their phones and they see products, so they started to think, I think it is more easier to buy things from the phones. So it is the
Mm,
start for the e-commerce platform.
mm. What's one more part you wanted to mention?
The mid pandemic one.
Mm,
The first one where the upset economic, and the second one is for the when people feeling is more good to buying from e-commerce platform.
mm. When you started to see the rise from like the uh, beginning of the pandemic to the middle part of it, you can see that there's a much more higher um, influence that comes from, for example, in a family setting, right? You have the children that are very much technology savvy in terms of their use of online platforms where you could buy stuff or interest that you want. For example, we have Lazada, we have Shopee, we have Taobao, and much more. You could see that how their parents could very much become influenced by their children. For example, if a children started buying, for example, a telephone, a handphone from online, for example, from Lazada, their parents, seeing that the product come in a good quality and no side effects or whatsoever, they started to have the trust in them to start venturing into shopping, online shopping, to be more precise, in the future. So I think that is why also this pandemic contributes very much to the rise of people buying stuff from the internet with very much
Yeah,
high frequency. As you know, we are very much bored in the house, as we are right now, right? We are both in our house. We are very
yeah.
much
Haziq, one question.
yes.
Uh, uh, Besides from Shopee, Lazada, and you also said that Taobao,
About yes.
what do you think the first e-commerce platform in the world?
In the world,
Yeah, the first ever e-commerce.
in the world,
Just give us several names.
think the
I
worst.
don't have the answers. I don't have the answers honestly, but I think maybe like Amazon or eBay. Yeah, maybe. Uh, um, uh, Between the two of them is the first e-commerce platform in the world.
Maybe eBay, I think so. Maybe eBay.
Yeah, I think maybe eBay because I think from the logo itself, the logo is much more classic than
Hmm.
other logo of e-commerce.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, that's a very good
but
question.
when we Yeah, but when we talk about e-commerce platform, Haziq,
Yes.
so when in this situation where
Hmm.
so many online businesses from the local community, they
Hmm.
do not have a local platform
Yes.
advertise about their promotions,
Hmm.
about their offers.
Hmm. It's
So
very much needed,
uh,
right?
yeah, very much needed. But for now, they only have the social media.
Hmm.
Like when they want to promote their offers or promotions, they
Hmm.
just went to the Twitter trends where like some celebrities or like
Hmm.
many online sellers, they open the like trade pasar malam trade.
Yes.
Ah,
Yes. I
yeah,
on Twitter.
like will be the place where all online sellers will try to put their offers and promotions there.
Hmm.
But still, it is not a permanent place. The trend
Yes.
will just go down and down and down and just poof
Hmm.
from the people knowledge. So we need some kind of local platform for them. But if we speak about local platform, there are two options. First
Hmm.
is when we create a new one, a separate one,
Hmm.
and the second one is when uh, we we create a channel like a special channel in an existing e-commerce platform
Hmm.
for the local sellers.
Yes, I think
I don't.
that's a
Hmm,
very good idea because we need to know that every time there's like a union when it comes to
hmm,
the economy on the at the end become very much more the economy rise whenever there's a
hmm,
union form. For example, back
hmm,
in the old days, I think in Britain, I suppose, there was um, the economy was down at the moment, but then when the wages for the laborers were not paid as what they should have been, they form a union, right? And
yeah,
then after
but
they reach
yeah,
resolution, they have they have what the wages they wanted, and on the other hand, the economy also rise with them having more
hmm,
wage.
hmm,
So I think a
yeah,
union, like a place where everyone is there, not for a profit benefit, just to make sure that they are heard and they are shown equally without any competition whatsoever. I think that's a very good idea. We should.
I think from the
Hmm.
historical, I think from the historical side, uh, the workers' union, I think
Yes.
it is started from England,
Mm,
right?
yes. Yes.
Like the when we learn from the like the secondary school history, like
Mm.
uh, mereka disebut yang Akta Kesatuan Pekerja ataupun something like that lah
Mm.
in the history books in the UK. But for me, there is benefits and still disadvantages of workers' union.
Mm.
Like workers' union, if they went too extreme,
Mm.
like they do like like
Went on a strike,
uh,
right?
when of a strike or they want to picket, it is just a very disadvantage for the overall economy.
Mm.
But from the good side, yeah, it gives them like the proper wages
Mm.
and for their benefits.
Mm. Yes. Have you seen anyone tried to making that idea become a reality? Have you ever seen like a
What?
platform
Focus.
in Malaysia
Oh yeah.
in terms of small
Ah
businesses?
yeah.
Do you have anything in mind?
Talking about local e-commerce, the Prime Minister has already said that they have the uh, like they have the plan to
Mm.
create a local channel in an existing e-commerce
Mm.
platform. Meanwhile, the minister for the entrepreneurs
Mm.
from Sarawak, his name is Datuk Dr. Wan Junaidi, Tunku
Mm. Yeah.
Jaafar. He said that uh, his ministry team is currently doing um, like a process where they want to build a local e-commerce platform entirely alone,
Mm.
uh, not from any other local e-commerce platform.
Mm.
So, but there is also initiatives from the uh, younger generations
Yes.
seperti yang ada dalam internet.
Mm.
Contohnya seperti Zen Garden. Yeah. For
Mm.
example, like Zen Gardens.
Mm.
Uh, mm, Zen Gardens is just like any other cause, just like any other non-profit organization, but they are focusing onto the youth economic sector.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they want to compile all small businesses run
Mm.
by the youth, so the public
Mm.
can see and choose from all the list of the small businesses, so they can make and do transaction with them easily. They
Mm.
just stay there in the list.
Mm.
Uh, Maybe they can do some promotions in the thread, but
Mm.
like if they just do promotions in Twitter or in Instagram continuously, they might get like exhausted. So when
Mm.
they get exhausted, they might get a little bit like a little bit their moral. I don't
Mm.
know what to say. Uh,
I think it's also a good initiative since it's not a funnel exclusively by the government, right? So, in terms of the
yeah.
people, they are taking their own initiative to make sure their economy will become better in
Mm,
the future by themselves. So,
mm.
I think
I
it's
mm,
a very courageous step, even without the government assistance, and
mm.
it very much embark on the idea of capitalism itself, right? We are taking our
Yeah.
own chances on ourselves. So I think
Mm. I, I really like when you say capitalism.
yes.
I don't a very capitalist person, but
Mm.
I am more to capitalist than to socialist.
Mm.
What is your stand,
I
Haziq?
think socialist is very much good on the theory part, but not on the execution part. I say that
Uh,
because in theory, yes, everyone work for the government, and then the government will separate the wealth separately, equally, right? But
mhm,
in execution, we can see from so many past governments that is not the
mm,
case. But
yeah,
if you see on the other hand of capitalism, yes, there is some disadvantages that come along with people focusing on the capitalism theory, right? But still,
mm,
the highs are very highs, but the low is
mm,
just very low, right? But the highs are
mm,
very much better than what um, socialist ideas present in the
mm,
first place.
yeah, right, very
You,
right.
I cannot much see a country that focus on socialist theory that
Mm,
are economically advanced. I don't see how it can
mm,
be possible
yeah, mm.
on all
Just like
focusing on the government. I just cannot see it
just
happening.
like the countries of China lah. China, the
Hmm.
biggest example is China
Hmm.
when they went from communism
Hmm.
into capitalism.
Hmm.
But ironically, the party is just only communist party. It
Yes.
just uh, make me a little bit, like a little bit, huh? Uh, hmm.
they still keep their power of communism in
Hmm.
terms of their
Hmm.
government and the way their law is
Hmm.
practiced, but
Hmm.
only difference is their economy. And
Hmm.
as we can see,
I,
there are very stark difference in China when it comes to their government practice and their economy. You can very much see the
I
difference.
think I can say they are smart person. And maybe they have, like Chinese, the China,
Mm,
uh, for so many thousand years,
mm,
they memang already, memang superpower kan.
mm.
So like
They got
from the
1 billion
ancient times,
people. They got 1 billion.
1 billion people, good history, great history, so many the territories. So I
Mm,
think maybe one day we may change from, like in the past we are apa ni? We are the Pax Britannica. Now we are in maybe Pax Americana, and maybe in the future Pax dot dot dot.
I don't know
You
lah.
know the terms, Haziq?
No, that's why I look blank. Please explain it to me, please.
Ah, okay. For short explanation, like in the ancient times we have the terms like Pax Romana, where the time the Roman Empire is the most influential empire at the time. So
Ah.
like in the years like 70s, 100 and after 100, it is when the time the British Empire is the most influential. So we call the era Pax Britannica. So now America I think is still influential. So I can say it
Mm,
is Pax Americana. But like countries like China,
mm. They're
Russia,
having they're having a very much
hmm,
of a tiff right now, right? The Americans
hmm,
and the Chinese, because as we can see, like from the news, where in terms of their embassy, right? Their
hmm,
embassy in both of the countries, they are forced to shut down, and
hmm,
all the workers are supposed to go back to their country, right? So I think
hmm.
um, this very much might not be the start, but I think we are walking towards the steps of people having to choose sides. Do you think so?
Yeah,
Like certain
I think we
countries,
just need to choose side.
maybe
Hmm.
one go to America and one go to China, and that is a very much scary future. That's all I can say.
Do you think do you think we can be a country where we just be neutral and
Beautiful.
not being too much sided to the west or to the east?
No, currently
Right.
no,
Hmm.
no, no. I don't
But
think so.
I think but I think for now our country is a bit just in the west side rather
Mm,
than to the east side. Hmm.
yes.
Still, yeah, still since the independence, we still just in the west side.
Mm. Oh, I don't know lah. That's a very much. I don't know. Which one do you think we should pick?
I also don't know.
Mm,
Like maybe the answers for your question is just a question also. The
mm,
question is when the two sides conquer our country,
mm,
who will do better for us?
mm.
Either it is the west or either it is the east. Maybe the sentiment of like the Japanese occupation in
Mm,
the Second World War
mm,
still give us the impact lah. The
mm.
East is just
Yes.
not good as we think,
Mm,
especially the from like the East from the Japanese, Chinese, Korea one.
mm. I think with that in mind, we better get back into the topic of the local union. I think if you
we
go
we
down,
are so
if we talk more about this, we'll go down a slippery slope, There will be no end whatsoever.
maybe maybe we can maybe I suggest we open a new podcast just for economics and geopolitics. So, talking about
Like you
local
mentioned Zen
artists.
Gardens,
So,
right?
yeah, we already mentioned Zen Gardens.
Mm.
So, talking about local artists. So, when I say local artists, it
Yes.
is not about artists from the east or artists from the west. It is artists, local artists in
Mm.
Malaysia.
In Malaysia.
So, the viewers, uh, who is your favorite local artist? Uh, uh, is your local artist is a now popular figure or just a historical memorabilia
Oh,
person? Mm.
to be
Maybe you Haziq can
mm,
first tell us about your favorite local artist.
to be frank, I'm not very much in the in the start of my fondness of music. I started with our local industry of music. I remember very vividly how I fell in love with the genre of hip hop, right? With the song
Mm.
from Malik and Black, Teman Pengganti. Do
Mm.
you know the song?
Ah, aku kan pergiku tak akan
Kembali.
kembali.
Rahsia. I
lagu
will
tu
go
lagu tu popular masa masa aku sekolah
AJL.
sekolah rendah.
Mm.
HL kan.
Mm.
Alright,
I
go
think
on.
it was during the standard 5, standard 4, maybe. That's when I started to go on the tangent of um, music of hip hop and all that, starting from the local artists. And I think
Yeah.
it's quite ironic how now my favorite local artist is also a hip hop artist. Do you have any guess?
Who? Who?
Do you have any
Who? Who?
guess? Any guess?
Hmm. Uh, click. Click.
No, no, no,
No.
no,
Uh, Ultimate.
no. He retired.
Uh, the younger generations of Ultimate.
Yes. To be more
Uh,
precise,
huh.
Aman Ra.
Oh yeah, Aman Raya.
Uh,
I forgot about the name.
I am so much of a fan that I even bought his album. I never bought any artist album ever in my life. This is my first. That was my first time last year where I bought an
Mm-hmm.
album that in the package came a sticker and also his shirt. Do you know the shirt, the one that I always wear, the one with the crown on the back? You know the shirt, the one that I took
I
picture
think
with Irol in KL.
the shirt.
Ah,
I think I think I will recognize it as the black shirt lah.
mm, one of my
Yeah.
many black shirts. Yes,
Hmm.
I very much. I started to recognize him because I listened to Malik's album, but by then he was known as Kraft, not as Aman Ra,
Hmm.
because back
Oh.
then he was much more leaning towards the Western hip hop scene, which I mean by that is he rap in English. He
Hmm.
used the English language, but as
Hmm.
time goes on, he switched his name to Aman Ra and changed his whole shtick from being an English speaking rapper into being a Malay rapper using the Malay
Oh.
language. Mm. Do you know the
I
song Budak
wanna
Flat?
ask.
The Budak Flat
Yeah,
song?
budak flat.
Mm,
Ah,
yes.
budak flat. Yes, I know. One question, Haziq. How
Yes.
much is the album price?
Oh, I'm not sure about the whole album, but the package that I brought, which consists of the sticker, the shirt, the album itself, it costs around.
Uh-huh.
It costs exactly 100 ringgit. Mm,
Oh,
100 ringgit.
so
Yeah.
The
simultaneously,
profits is
simultaneously, I was supporting a local business.
yeah,
So I'm
true,
just I'm just
very
doing
true.
I'm just doing my part
Mm.
of the whole cycle, and I hope I could be very much of a help. And
Mm.
I bought it when he released his first ever album, which is called Rebel, which I found
Huh?
very much a great album. I'm not very you know me, right? I'm not very much
Mm.
that in depth when it comes to the Malaysian artists discography and all that. But I think that
Mm.
from that album, I find it very much in tune with what I like in rap music, like the instrumental, the lyrics.
Mm.
I find it very much relatable, and that is why
Mm.
I think Anandra. And when his next album drop, I will again buy his merchandise so that I
I
could
think
support
uh,
his music.
I think you are related to hip hop maybe because of your surroundings, maybe because of your geographic profile. Maybe you are living in like in an urban area.
Mm,
The people living there likes to hear urban music like hip hop
yes.
or
Mm,
hip hop right. So, hmm.
mm.
But I think the similarity of our local artists, I think because of uh, they had presented their songs in AJL.
Yes. That's where
Ah,
most of the people get their exposure the most.
hmm.
And not
But
only that,
but
I
for
think
me,
that I think that I why I like Amanra in the first place. I think because he also was influenced by the music that I like. I think because he
ah,
also listens to old hip hop albums and the classics, and he made his album based on those influence, which by far
ah,
so much resonated with me. I think that's my opinion lah. Because
hmm,
I think that when people have their own same influence as you, knowingly or unknowingly, you will recognize it and you will appreciate it. So that's why I think
hmm.
we have the. That's
When
why I
we
like this.
look back, hmm, when we look back through the AJL uh, throughout the years before
Mm,
this, we can see the trend of musics in every several years.
mm,
Like uh, the most prominent one is when the 2000 era, when the
mm.
music of like the songs like like Despite This,
Yes.
uh, Bila Aku Pujuk,
Yeah, that was so
what
prominent back
else?
then.
Ah, like I think it is what genre it is? I think it
R-
is
Pop
pop
rock.
rock, right? Pop
Uh,
pop rock.
mm,
Pop rock. Uh, like before that, the Malay traditional like the Cindai, like
mm,
Tanya Sama Uthud from
mm,
Nur Hadiza and M. Nasir.
mm,
And when I think my music taste is when in the year of like maybe 2017, 2019, the
mm.
balada one, the
Yes.
balada and indie one,
Mm,
like Adibanor, Lalu Istimewa,
mm.
uh,
Oh, I love that song.
Pergi by Aizat Amdan.
Mm,
Huh. Like one also song from Aizat Amdan, Sungai Lui. I also like that.
mm,
The vibe just like wow, very Malaysian.
mm.
Uh,
I think when you could see that from the AJL from the past to AJL till now, they have
hmm.
the same feeling, but the feeling is more urbanized. I think so. The feeling is more
Yeah,
modern. Maybe with
yeah. It is.
times, they
Hmm.
still keeping the
It's
same sentiment, but I think with
hmm.
different way of producing the song. But the feeling is still
Yeah,
there.
just becoming modern and modern.
Hmm. Like
Maybe
what?
one day, AJL will become like Eurovision.
No, the Asian vision. No,
Ah,
you can do it.
no. Uh, I forgot about talking about my favorite local artist. My
Yes.
answer is Anwar Zain. First is because
Zain.
he is a balada. He is a
Mm.
balada singer.
Mm.
So many like good songs because it is in balada.
Mm.
And maybe if you realize some of the songs used for films OST,
Mm. Yes.
like Hikayat Merong Mahawangsa, you know what OST for that?
I'm just nodding along.
Ah, you forgot lah ni.
Mm.
Ni the song
Give me a snippet.
uh, Sedetik Lebih.
Oh, okay, okay, okay,
You
okay.
know the song? Oh, yeah. Sedetik Lebih. Oh, Hikayat Merong
Sedetik
Mahawangsa.
lebih.
Hmm.
Why?
Is that song? Ah,
Why? Why?
why?
There's
Why?
many ballad singers in Malaysia. That's the norm normally, right?
Maybe,
What make him
hmm,
stood apart
maybe
from
because
for you?
first is my first experience of Anwar Zain song is Ketulusan Hati, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know that song, right? Ketulusan
Yes.
Hati?
Yes. Yes.
Because it always appear on Astro Oasis
That
several
sounds.
years ago.
Yeah.
Ah, I don't know why, but
Mm.
I think it is kind of related to music ketuhanan.
Uh, uh,
And then I watched Hikayat Merong Mahawangsa, so I heard Sedetik Lebih, and then when I become teenagers in my age of 13 or 14,
mm,
yeah, like Form 2 or Form 3, I discovered many more Anwar Zain songs like um, Lelaki Ini,
mm,
Mungkin, what else? Perpisahan Ini, and
mm,
many more lah.
mm.
And I think the latest song is, like the trilogy songs one. Uh, I forgot about the name lah. When the actress Sharifah Sakina,
Mm-hmm.
he she acted in the MVs.
Mm,
Yeah, but my favorite one is the old songs by Anwar Zain. So
mm,
when I hear uh, his songs, I just get reminiscence about my past experiences. Just past experiences, not romantic ones.
mm.
Just past experiences from my childhood.
It takes back
Uh,
you to a certain time, right?
Maybe because of the voices lah.
Mm,
When the voices, like Anwar's voices is just very legendary.
mm,
Just very soothing
mm,
and very moving one. Uh,
mm. Do you think he's still on his run where he can still provide music that are very much um, with the times, or do you think the tide have sailed for that? Do you think he can still
oh,
provide more?
he still can. He still
Mm,
can.
mm,
But the important question here is whether if we have local artists who uh, can ganti
mm.
Anwar Zain when the time comes.
You
I
know,
don't know.
I
Maybe
know a fella.
maybe
I know a
maybe
fella.
Sufyan Suhaimi, but maybe Sufyan Suhaimi maybe no.
I
Maybe
think
in the future lah, I think.
there's
But
this
no.
guy. I met him back in June of 2019. He was my
Oh,
classmate. He was my classmate
oh,
for the first semester. I think he
huh?
very much has the potential with his songs.
Do you think Sekejap. Is he sing balada? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you
I
think what I'm
forgot.
thinking? Do you think what I'm
I
thinking right now?
think he is. I think he is more to folk music.
Maybe that's the next trend in Malaysia. Hmm. Maybe that's the
Uh,
next trend of music.
you know, like music genre has its own rotation.
Hmm.
Like in the 60s, they have like reggae.
Hmm.
Like the 70s, they went for like maybe like hip hop. Not hip hop. Hip hop.
Um,
No, it has pop.
I think it also depends on the countries itself, because
Ah,
in different countries got different trends going on. Because if we see
oh,
from USA, right,
mm,
currently they are very much hip hop oriented. The last decade, which is the 2000s, are very much R&B influence, and from
what?
the 19 towards the 19s and the 80s are very much on the pop side. You know, the likes of
Mm,
Michael Jackson, Prince,
mm,
um, who else, and many more. But
mm,
then you take back from the 70s, the 60s, you have James Brown, you have
mm. Elvis Presley.
Elvis Presley. So it depends. Like for Malaysia, what do you think the trend is for Malaysia musically?
Do
Dating back
you?
to the 70s, I think.
Uh, I think maybe in 70s, 80s, maybe just similar like the West. But in
Mm,
90s and in the first 2000s, we moved to, I don't know why, traditional ethnic music.
mm.
Uh, yeah,
Suddenly take
because
a
at the time, yeah,
traditional twist into the trend.
yeah, because as I know, the world in 1990s, the music taste is like, uh, like, like catchy feely one
Mm,
that the kind of song for Titanic,
mm,
like my heart will go on, just like that kind of song.
mm. That will catch you in the
Then,
feelings.
then in 2000 we have that because of the like the punk music,
Mm,
the metal music, so
mm,
it just absorbed lah from the West into our country.
mm,
But for the future, I think I have no idea what kind of music we will have. Maybe we will just stick to electro.
mm.
Maybe maybe electro lah. I don't know what kind of new music genre we will have in the future.
I think, but judging from now, it's going on
Hmm.
a very gradual and a good direction, right? Because not
Yeah.
only are we very much in tune in the local scene, we also have our own
Oh.
local artists in
Hmm.
venturing into the Hollywood stratosphere. Like for example, we have Yuna, right? That I listened
You know.
to her last album. Uh, it is very much still keeping the values of the Malaysian, um, when it comes to the Malaysian feeling, it still have that, but it still can uh, compete well with the music that is currently in the US.
Hmm.
So I think with her being at being the front runner in terms of our presence in Hollywood, it will just keep on being better and better. We'll have more Yunas in the futures. And I think
Hmm.
that is very much um, motivating for us to know that our music is very much great for our ears, but not only ours,
Hmm.
also others around the world. Because you know
Ah.
the saying, right, that music is the most universal sound, where
Hmm.
everyone can have a certain sentiment to a music that cannot be described by our thoughts necessarily. And
Yeah. Even though I always hear songs from other countries, I
mm,
still can feel the emotions in the
mm,
songs. Hmm.
yes,
Just from the voice.
it all depends on the person actually.
Hmm.
Like what gets you, and maybe you can't explain it, but that's just how it is. And now,
Maybe that explains why I like Anwar Zaid music.
mm, yeah,
And
and
now what, Haziq?
now, I think it
Mhm.
very much with us liking um, products of entertainment from other countries, and also
Mhm.
liking our own in our country, we need to talk about dramas. We need to talk about the dramas, Nezwan. We need to talk about the dramas.
Do you talking about
The
the
K
dramas?
dramas.
I just want to talk about the political dramas, but since you are talking about K dramas, so let's just not waste our time, Haziq.
Hmm.
So who gonna start first?
I think
Me
I'm
or
going to
you?
start first because I
Oh yeah,
have
yes.
very since last week I've seen a lot of not necessarily dramas but also movies. For example, by last week I have seen the Tom Cruise, the Mission Impossible. I have seen
Mhm.
Knives Out. I have seen The Life Aquatic with Steven Sizu, and
Never heard of.
it's a Wes Anderson movie. But relating back
Oh.
to our topic of K dramas, right?
Mm.
I am very much infatuated with the drama of Hospital Playlist.
Oh,
Have you heard?
I never seen it.
Mm,
I never got the chance to see it.
yeah, it's a
But
TVN
why?
drama. Why? Because
Why?
you know the
It is about
directors.
hospital.
Yes, it's about a group of doctors.
Ah.
Mm. Do you hear any voice in the background? Do you
No.
hear? Okay, okay. So basically, like how it is that I love the concept of a drama not necessarily having a sole main character. What I mean by that,
Because
do you know?
I get that.
Do you know like the Reply series, like Reply 1998, 1988,
Yeah.
Reply 1994, Reply 1997?
Mm-hmm.
So do you
Mm-hmm.
know the creators of three
Mm-hmm.
of this Reply series is also the creator of this drama Hospital Playlist, and
Ah.
I think maybe it is because that I'm a social person that likes to be with my friends, right? I've taken a liking towards this drama, even though I'm not a doctor, not a medical student or any sense of that. But I still feel like this drama very much resonates with me when it comes to the relationship between the friends
Maybe
in
maybe I
social.
will give it a try now to
Mm,
watch the K dramas
mm,
of Hospital Playlist and Reply the trilogy.
You
Go
have
on.
watched any of the replies?
No, but I always hear the OSTs and
Mm,
just look some of the clips from the dramas because like there are many prominent actors and actresses there.
mm. Like for the hospital playlist, right? It is not only like a drama where necessarily it's only one season, because based on the news that I've heard, they are also
Mm.
going to have a second season, which makes it very
Oh.
much more interesting given how the story ending in the first season. And I feel like I very much like the friend team of a drama, because as we can see in the drama, they have certain characters in a group that are very much different from each other, but you can see how they can gel their personalities together to make a friend group that are very much delightful. For example, there's a character which is very caring toward others, but not much on himself. We got a character
Mm.
that are very much dedicated towards his work, towards her work, and nothing much else. We also got a very person with a very much high ego, but still a little bit cares about each other. We have someone that is kind of um, kind of silent in some ways, but also can gel well in the group. Um, Not only that, I think like the storylines are also not the typical. You know how typical it is where it always a love story or some things like that,
Mm.
right? But even though there are some love stories in this drama, particularly, but
Oh.
it is not the main focus. The focus is the relationship between the people in the group.
Oh.
So I feel that's a very much different take of Korean dramas than what we are used to. And yeah, that's why I think currently that's my favorite. That's one of my
Oh,
favorites.
your current favorite lah. This it is the only one your favorite.
Oh no. I think I'll let
Yeah.
you go first and then I'll tell you my second one. Then you can tell your second one. So,
Oh, so you think this is a duel lah?
no, it's a it's a forum where
Oh, for
where we share
yeah.
our favorites.
All right,
No
all
competition,
right.
no competition.
So for my first take, I also will give my current watching.
Mm.
I already finished lah, but still in the category current watching drama,
Mm.
I would give. Uh, I think Crash Landing is so overrated, so I will give Hotel de Luna.
Why do you need to say the first sentence?
I think Crash Landing is just on its own league lah. So you just let it go. Hotel uh, Hotel de Luna is the focus one here. All right.
I
But
will let that
speaking
slide.
of Hotel de Luna, mm, speaking of Hotel de Luna, I just like you watch Hotel de Luna?
No,
No,
no.
no. Okay. So we have the character of a hotel manager, a girl, Ayu. You know like Ayu.
Yes.
You know Ayu. But I don't like her character. I don't know.
Mm.
So besides from Ayu as the hotel manager, there's also one guy.
Your Jingu, right?
Memang yeah. I don't know what his real name, but in the drama his name is Kuchan Song. He is the who the maybe I think the manager for who is the manager? Oh, Ayu is the CEO for the hotel. Ko Chan Song is the manager and the three side characters, the hotel workers lah. Many other characters, but I just want to talk about uh, the two characters lah. Ayu and Ko Chan Song.
Mm.
First, I just don't like so much about Ayu.
Mm.
I don't know why, because um, maybe because she is from the bad side,
Is
but
she the antagonist of this drama?
no, she is not the antagonist. I think there is, yeah, there is antagonist, but the presence of antagonist is not just so exposed
Mm.
in the drama, so it's just not very interesting lah.
Mm.
Like kan Crash Landing on You kan memang ada dia punya
Mm.
uh, antagonist kan yang Captain apa entah tu, tapi dalam Hotel Delta memang tak ada.
Yeah, the
But
same goes
one
with
reason,
the hospital playlist. It's just their life and what
hmm,
goes on. Not much of a
yeah lah, Hospital Playlist kan is just slices of life, so it
Mm.
has no antagonist lah.
Mm.
So speaking of Ayu, even though I just don't like her character, but there is one side of her character that I like. First is because the character is experienced, so full of experience. Just for your information, her character is 1,000 year old.
Oh,
Huh.
it's a fantasy then.
Because she need to be the CEO of a hotel for
Mm.
ghosts.
Oh.
So so the curse on her need to stay for a long time. So like 1,000 years. So
Mm.
she need to hire uh, hundreds of human. Yeah, she's also human lah, but
Mm.
she is
Not
just
much.
a cursed human, so
Mm.
she cannot die. So she need to hire a normal person to manage the daily with humans like with human activity.
Mm.
So Ko Chan Song is the latest manager for Hotel Del Luna. Yeah, so I don't like the IU, but just as like I say, she is just an experienced person
Mm.
because like she just went through so many events in her life, so he just knew what to do. Uh, like otherwise, for Kuchan song,
Mm.
what is real name?
Yo Jingu.
Yo Jongyu,
Yo
Yo Jingu,
Jingu.
Yo Jingu. Like he is just 20 something or
Mm.
30 something, so his experience is just very little. So
Mm.
when he did the actions, he is just following his emotions
Mm.
rather than by logic. So I think it is a win-win lah for the character, uh, good and bad for
Mm.
Ayu and Yojingu.
Why do you think the movie resonate with you? Do you think because it's a fantasy movie and you are very much inclined to watch a fantasy story, or what?
The only reason why I choose to watch Hotel de Luna is because like I watch K-drama in pair. When I watch Crash Landing, I also watch uh,
Oh,
Itaewon Class.
uh,
Itaewon Class. When I watch uh, I'm Not a Robot, I also watch Hotel de Luna.
why?
So it gives me no, it just gives me maybe so I cannot be boring. So
Hmm.
I can also save my time by just watching two drama at a time.
How?
Or maybe because so maybe or maybe because can uh I can analyze. I
Hmm.
can analyze. Wait, wait first. My telephone is
So, as you all know, guys, Nezwan is very much someone who love analyzing, and with that in
you know
mind, that is why he watched two dramas at
if
once. Go
if
on.
my phone dies,
Yes.
my connection lost,
Hmm.
our podcast also will end here. So I need to continue on.
Go on, go on.
So, hmm. So about my my take lah, my one take about Hotel de Luna. Maybe because aside from fantasy, I just like the message the drama want to convey to us that
Mm.
uh, uh, that that only in our real life we can do something to change ourselves. When we die, we cannot change. Just like so many ghosts in the Hotel de Luna, they want to change something, they want to do something, but at the end they cannot do. They're just being dihalang
Mm.
by Ayu or
Mm.
some other kind of incidents. No?
Mm.
It just teach me that during your life, just live your life to the fullest. Mm.
With that in mind, with Nezwan internet connection,
And no,
huh?
just continue on. We can continue on, yeah. We can
Really?
continue on. I just say that if my battery dies,
Mm.
just now my battery percent is 2%, so it might die in
Ah.
any time. So I need to charge it now.
Hmm. But I think
Maybe one more drama, one more drama, one more
each
drama.
from each of us.
Yeah.
Okay. What
Uh,
drama?
in simple words,
Oh, the
your
second drama
classic, your classic favorite one, your long time favorite one.
of K dramas.
Yeah, your all time.
I don't know. Maybe I mentioned about Reply, right? But
Mhm.
I think I like the Kwang. I don't think it's all time, but it's one of my favorites. Like Kwang Soo from Running Man.
Oh, Kwang Soo.
He he
Uh,
did a drama called Life. It's a slice of life, as you know,
mm,
knowing from Hospital Playlist, Reply. I very much love. slice of life genres of
I'm more to romantics.
who.
I'm
So I'm not very keen on romantic theme dramas, and I think a slice of life for this drama is how Kwang Soo and also the main heroine, which is which is also she also starred in the Train to Busan. Do you know the mother of the wife
yeah.
to Ma Dong Seok?
I
Uh,
still remember her face.
mm, she and Kwang Soo both are from
Hmm.
different walks of life. So basically, Kwang Soo is like a promoter to a certain product, while the woman, is basically searching for jobs after her graduation. But both of them cannot keep up with their daily life, and somehow they end up joining the police academy in the qualification period, where they need
Hmm.
to be a part of a camp, and they are by levels they are supposed to be disqualified and disqualified and disqualified until finally they become a police officer. And luckily for both of them, they got to be a police officer, and that's when the story actually starts, because
Oh.
both of they end up at the same station with a very much intriguing character of their superior officer that was previously a spy but then
Hmm.
downgraded towards a job in the police station. And I very much like this movie because we can see their dynamic, that sometimes when you start off, maybe you see that guy as being a very much disrespectful, very rude toward others. And by the end of the drama, can I tell you spoiler?
Just go on lah. Tell
Uh,
me the spoiler.
so,
But for readers, but for the viewers, spoiler alert.
spoiler alert, by the end of the drama, he became the one who sacrificed to save Kwang Soo's life. You could see, but in the early on, they are very much distant, all three of them. But then, as they live their life as a police officer, they bond over time, even through traumas of life, even through good times or even very, very bad time. Where one part, spoiler alert, where Kwang Soo, in the motion of protecting the superior officer, stabbed a suspect and then was brought to trial. And with the end, with Kwang Soo prevailing and still becoming a police officer, that is very much a good ending. That I think if you watch the drama, it is very much pleasant, you know. It has some shockers then there, but still at the end, you'll find it very much pleasant. And you think that, oh, after you watch this drama, you might think that slice of life slice of life might be the genre for you, like it is for me. Yeah, it's one of the good ones. And also it's on TVN, so we all know TVN produced some great dramas. They currently also have the It Is Okay Not to Be Okay, right? So they are
Hmm.
continuously
Right.
bringing out good dramas that I will
Hmm.
go on and watch. That is why I like
Maybe we
the
should discover.
slice of life.
Maybe we should discover the secrets. What
Mm.
makes TVN dramas so good?
Yeah, that's like their
Hmm.
stinger.
Hmm.
Mm.
For me, my take for my all-time favorite of K-drama, I will give On the Way to the Airport,
Okay.
2016. Hmm.
Mm.
Fun fact, it is the I think the only K-drama when it is sponsored by a Malaysian company. You know what company it
Uh,
is?
Airport, Malaysia, Asia.
Yeah, right? Asia. Yeah, the protagonist is a woman. She is the stewardess for Asia. And very interestingly, they also have the shooting in Malaysia, in Putrajaya. So I was just like, in 2016, I watched that. I was like, wow, in Malaysia? Oh, so proud, so proud. I just like, because of that, I just also like the drama because of the OST. The
Mm.
OST is just so soothing.
Can
I
you sing it
recommend
for
all of
us?
you,
Can you sing it for us?
including you, Haziq, including you, Haziq,
Me?
to hear the OST. Yeah, the OST for On the Way to the Airport. You will just like the music. I think you need to find the drama and see the drama. Just I think like 16 episode. I think 16 episode lah. But for the plot now, I can say the plot is uh just good,
Mm.
not excellent, just good lah. Not
Mm.
excellent like Crash Landing, not excellent uh
Still over it.
like Itaewon Class, but just as good as old dramas.
Mm.
You know, like it is by not by TVN, it is by KBS.
Ah.
KBS.
Okay.
KBS kan dia kan agak lain sikit kan. Dia punya gaya macam agak lama sikit daripada
Mm.
TVN. Jadi macam
Their
that's
camera,
my answer.
the camera quality, I can see the distinct between those two
Agak
companies.
distinct.
Mm.
Hmm.
Go on, go on.
I think KBS is the RTM for Korea. Uh,
Judging from
and TV.
what shows
Hmm.
they have, yes, I could agree with you. SBS
Right.
is like TV3.
Oh. Ah, yeah. SBS is just for variety shows
Mm.
and more to like viral one now.
Mm.
But TVN is I think
Mm.
for Astro,
Mm.
Astro right? Astro right? Maybe Astro.
And also because
Hmm.
TV3 and RTM is just like SBS and KBS, where they are domestically, what they call it, they are there, not having to purchase. You know what I mean? They are not there for subscription, as opposed to Astro,
Ah.
as opposed to
Oh, okay.
TVN.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you have to pay per view to have like a nickname for whatsoever. They are more as that's why I think it's very much
Hmm.
different in quality, but you need to pay for the entertainment. That's where the
Wait.
difference
So
comes.
KBS, SBS, TVN, and others is uh studio right? Like
Yes.
Studio RTM,
Mm,
Media Prima,
mm,
Astro,
because when
like that lah.
in Korea you have the SBS, KBS, TVN, JTBC, and much more.
JTBC.
Yes.
Ah.
Mm. See, there's a lot of similarities. Even in other countries, we still use the same system.
Hmm.
That's why you
I
love
hope
Astro
Astro
shows
will.
rather than the normal shows, right?
Yeah,
Ah,
maybe there's also a relation why uh, older people, I think, like to watch KBS. The formality,
yeah.
formality.
As you can see in
I
the
think if we discover all around the world like KBS, BBC is like
mm.
the fans for RTM.
Oh yeah, they are like domestically syndicated. Yes, now I remember the word.
Ah,
They are domestically
ah.
syndicated for all of the
But,
people.
but for America, different thing. There is no
America,
domestic, no domestic, right?
America. Yeah,
All is private online.
yeah.
But because of but
Capitalism.
because of they are but because of they are private owned, they
Mm.
have their own
Takes
political take. Like
like
Fox
more
go there,
conservative.
CNN go there. Uh,
Um,
yeah, I just know Fox and
mm,
CNN just two separate things.
mm.
They cannot combine. Mm.
But one also bad thing about them is they are not. We can't have like they can have the news. They are not unbiased. You know what I mean? Where they are
Mm.
what what's the term? Bipartisan? No,
Mm.
where they are
Bipartisan is neutral.
where they're bipartisan in terms of their sharing of the news. Because
Mm.
Fox they are more conservative. CNN, they are more liberal. So it's hard to find the middle ground, especially for foreigners like us, trying to know the
Hmm.
news about the country's politics.
Hmm.
How did we get
Maybe you
from
know,
dramas to to Donald Trump? Yes, yes.
when we have so many ample time, we
Mm-hmm.
have so many things to talk.
Yes. Yeah. Where we are both free
Hmm.
together.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, but do we have time left, or do we need to cut this first, and we save other things we talk today in the next episode? We cut lah
Maybe,
kan?
with that in mind, that is
Uh,
the end of today's podcast episode, starring Nezwan, Helmi, and myself. For today's Something Good Afternoon. With that in mind, we bid you goodbye. Arrivederci. Uh, say goodbye in other language, Nezwan. Say goodbye in many languages.
uh, Selamat tinggal.
Selamat tinggal. Bye-bye.
In Chinese, Chinese what? Chinese what? Bye bye. Yeah. Bye bye.
谢谢.
Bye bye. 谢谢. Korea, Korea. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
Hey, wait. Di ini.
Yeah.
Ah,
With that in mind,
ah.
bye-bye. Something. Something.
Wait. Afternoon.
Afternoon. Bye-bye.